I've got some trusty notes here, and the topic that I'd like to cover for this video is our story. So from the time that me and Regine started talking and when we met up until now, 4 years later, almost 5 years later, through COVID, I've got Joshua, we're married, we've got a house now, we're living here in the Philippines, but obviously there's lots of stuff in between. So I've got some notes, so let's get down to it. So if I'm looking down, stick with me guys, bear with me. Me and Regine. So Regine firstly, before we got together, she spent most of her life in a province of North Cotabato, Philippines, that is on the Mindanao Island. It is the red zone. However, there are certain areas within the red zone, the UK government guidelines, that are in fact a lot safer than anticipated, and yeah. But we won't go too much into that in this video, that's something for another video. But she was living there for the majority of her life. Her family is still there now. And then she got talking to me in February 2020. So it's quite a long time ago. I mean, we're almost 5 years now. I'm just checking the date on the other computer there. But yeah, almost 5 years down the line, and here we are. How did that happen, Wes? That actually happened because she started talking to me on Facebook. I got a random ad on Facebook, completely out of the blue, didn't know who she was. Seen that her location was set to the Philippines. I didn't even know where the Philippines was on the world map. I was completely ignorant to geography and, and locations, and I'm not well travelled. So I had to do a little bit of research, had to make sure that she was legit and I weren't talking to a robot or something. But yeah, I found out she's legit and we got on video calls, and that's how it all started back in February 2020. So it seems like a lifetime ago now. Can't really see, I keep getting a black blotch on my eyes because I got the light on there. Oh dear, right, what are we saying? Anyway, so we had to basically go through 2 years of a long distance relationship. That's completely due to COVID. We got locked in the UK. Basically, lots of countries got put on what was deemed a red list. I don't know if it's the same in your country, wherever you are, but the red list, basically, you weren't allowed to fly to or from those countries, and the Philippines was basically on the red list from day one. Unfortunately, do not fly out of the UK. COVID put a stop to all of that. So we went 2 years, long distance relationship, couldn't be together. So it was a lot of video calls back and forward, really. Sometimes we literally went up to 10 to 12 hours a day. And people still ask me, how did you talk for that long? What did you talk about? How did you not run out of time? How did you get work done? Well, I was self-employed at the time, and let's just say I weren't being very efficient. But yeah, anyway, that's again another story for another day on that one. So some time had passed and it got to October 2021. I knew that this was the young lady that I wanted to be with, even though it was still all long distance relationship. Some people, may think, wow, that's crazy. But we basically went through with the proposal. Well, I went through with the proposal. She accepted the engagement. I had to create a video. Well, I didn't have to. That sounds wrong, it sounds like she forced me. But no, I decided to create a proposal video, which I then obviously sent to her and got a yes. But you can actually see that online. It is on the main channel. I'll put a link in the description for that. The proposal is online. Yeah, she did say yes, we did go through with it. That's October 2021. Now, fast forward a little bit. COVID restrictions were changing, and not to go too much into it because it's quite a boring topic, the whole COVID scenario. Yeah, but basically the red list was looking to be extended again for additional months, and we found that there's a loophole that if you had a spouse, that you could travel to the Philippines from the UK. Now, at the same kind of time, it became really popular that online marriage was a thing, and it was legit. Yeah, so not only did we get engaged online, we actually went through with Utah's online marriage. Now, this is where things get a little bit hairy. That was at the beginning of February 2022. Okay, so 2 years into the relationship, almost exactly. And then literally 2 weeks later, not even that actually, it was about 1 week later, the red list completely vanished and we were able to fly. So we'd done the online marriage, we didn't need to. I flew straight out to the Philippines to be with her directly. We met in person. Yeah, there we go. That was the start of something beautiful. But from there, basically, we went straight ahead and booked the real wedding because we wanted to secure it properly. Rather than going through the report of marriage sequence from making the Utah online marriage legit in the Philippines and worldwide, we didn't bother with any of that. We just went straight in with the Philippines marriage. So we got married in April 2022, so a couple of months later. All legit, all above board, everything is certified and everything now. So that made things a lot easier with everything else moving forward. It wasn't the reason why we wanted to do it. We wanted to tie the knot, obviously, because we were really, really happy. Regina fell pregnant quite quickly after the marriage. Yeah, so that was April. That gave us 9 months to hurry our timeline up and get things moving to try and make sure that we were secure. But anyway, I spent 7 months in the Philippines from February. So what does that? I think that makes it September. I had to leave basically because finances were not falling into place. I was trying to start a new business, online business, so I could work from home in the Philippines, work completely remote. That did not come to fruition, unfortunately. I could not seem to get that kicked off and earning any money at all. So I did have to close that business before it even started. But the only source of income that I had was a commercial cleaning company back in the UK. And because it's a cleaning company, it's staff reliant very heavily. And being however many thousand miles away I was in the Philippines at the time from the UK, it was impossible to manage a staff from the Philippines whilst being so far away from the UK. The staff and the clients were, it was just not working to plan at all. So I needed to return back after 7 months. So in September, I returned back to the UK and tried to basically save our ass, make sure we have some income because that was the only income that we had. I decided that it was probably a good idea to try and get Regina into the UK rather than me coming to the Philippines because obviously the whole money side of things made it very, very difficult. And I already had an established business there in the UK, albeit quite small and not fully successful. It wasn't earning very much money, but it was just enough to keep us ticking over. So we began the process of getting Regina a visa to come to the UK, a spousal visa. Now that we're married, we can do a spousal visa. Fantastic. So we started all of that rigmarole, which was, quite a few headaches, quite a lot of stresses, upsets, tears, empty bank accounts, the whole works really. But we got through that with the help of a visa company based in the UK. If you need any advice about that, if you are from the UK, then let me know. Drop me a message, please, or put it in the comments and I'll reach out to you. But they're fantastic. They sorted absolutely everything out for us. It does cost a little bit, but it's not as much as you believe it could be. So once that got processed, we were then working on obviously getting Regina over here. But it was really, really iffy with the timings because Regina was heavily pregnant at that time. And it got to the point where it was no longer safe for her to travel because apparently you can't be over 7 months and flying while pregnant. So the plan then changed from rushing her to the UK and giving birth in the UK to, okay, we need to have the baby in the Philippines and then process that whole passport and visa for the newborn baby to come to the UK as well. Although Joshua is half British, half UK, you still need to secure his legalisation in the UK as well. It is easy, but yeah, that is something that needed to be done beforehand. I can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head, but yeah, it's not difficult. It got closer towards the time that regime was about to drop, and I had to go out to the Philippines. I wanted to make sure I was there for the birth. It was our first child. It's my first child as well. I don't have any other children. Regine doesn't have any other children, so it is a special moment, obviously. So I wanted to be there. I could not be in the UK when that happened. Hell no. I didn't want her to go through all of that stress on her own as well. So I flew out literally the week that she was due to give birth. So we were quite lucky. She didn't give birth early. We were very, very lucky. In fact, it got to the due date and 2 days passed, and oh no, actually it was the due date, and we went to the doctors and they said, okay, you need a C-section. So that was it, panic mode. Regine went as white as a ghost, pale-faced. C-section time, you're going in for surgery. So yeah, I'll do another video on all of the details for that, costs involved, etc., the whole process, because I need help with that one. There's a lot of details that I can't remember. I kind of phased out. It was very stressful, but yeah, I'll get her help with that one. Where did we go from there? So Regine gave birth. I had to come back. I had to leave them in the Philippines for a little while we finished up the process, and I had to continue with work for a little bit. And then what month does that put us on? Yeah, then I returned to the UK for a short while, just to bide a little bit of time really, because I couldn't afford to stay in the Philippines an extra like 2 months or whatever it was for the documents and everything to be secured, and all of Regine's visa and everything to come through. I couldn't afford to wait around again, so I had to return back. And then when everything got finalised, paperwork wise, visas and Joshua's legalisation and everything, I then returned back for just 1 week, and that was to bring them back with me to the UK and say bye-byes to her family and everything else, and get rid of whatever other belongings needed to be dealt with as well. Hugely stressful time, upsetting for her as well, because she's never left the country, she's never left her family. But yeah, we got through it in the end, and we stayed in the UK for, drum rolls please, it was meant to be 3 years 9 months, no, 2 years 9 months, sorry. It was 1 year and a half. So what happened in that 1 year and a half, excuse me, I've got a itchy nose. What happened in that year and a half is the cleaning business was building up really well, got really good. And at the same time, I still, in the back of my mind, I still wanted an online business. So I started a competition website, basically like raffling things. I still do it now, the competition website. And as the competitions were going up a little bit on income, the cleaning business dropped down. So it shot up really fast, but then it dropped down because we lost quite a few contracts, mainly due to their budgets changing. And that puts in a very dangerous situation, because increases of cost of living were never ending, it seemed, in the UK. Everything was going up, expenses, rent, bills, electric, everything. It was just going up, expensive, and it's still going up today. We had to make a bit of a drastic decision, and okay, let's go to the Philippines. We have this online income building up now, the competition website, and before all of the cleaning income goes down completely, I'm running out of words, we'll try to utilize the competition business going up. So it was a lot of hoping and praying, so I closed the cleaning company down just before we left. We were actually searching online on Facebook for pieces of land, for plots of land, and perhaps one with a half-built house or something, while we were still there in the UK. And we did find a couple that were very interesting to us, so we got in touch with them on Facebook, and tried to make some arrangements. But yeah, it was a rush. We used the last of our funds to get out here and secure a portion of that money so we could buy some land, buy a house, at least an unfinished house. Yeah, and that's where we got to really. We landed in the Philippines in September 2024, so the September that's just passed, and we pursued this plot of land and this house that we're currently living in now immediately, like literally the next day after we arrived. And we took some time viewing the property, backwards and forwards, lots of discussions, lots of negotiations, and we ended up purchasing this house and land right here. I'll go over all of the pricing and everything for this house in the next coming videos. However, that's a lot more in depth. There's lots to go over. All of the renovation process so far. There's lots more to do still, cosmetic, structural, etc. But that's not for this video. This video is getting quite long already. But yeah, and at the same time as the house started being renovated, I decided to start the main Life as Westwood channel. A link is in the description. There's a link tree in our bio for this channel, so please check it out. You'll see the main Facebook, Instagram, TikTok pages. You'll see the main YouTube channel link on there as well. A contact email address for us if you have any business inquiries or just want to reach out to us, etc, etc. But guys, that is it for now. That's took you all the way from before our long distance relationship, during our long distance relationship during COVID for 2 years, online marriage, in-person marriage, obviously meeting in the Philippines and getting pregnant with Joshua, and then coming back to the UK for 1.5 years, trying to make that life work there. Finances got too expensive, we moved back to the Philippines. Here we are now, we've bought a house, we've bought land, and hopefully we're up to date. But guys, that is it for this video. Thank you ever so much if you're still here, tuned in and watching. Thank you for your time and your dedication. Please take care, please tune in, hit subscribe, leave some comments, hit that like button, and I'll catch you in the next video where I'll be talking about this home purchase, the budget that I had, which was very minimal, the renovation beginnings, the start of the channel, and everything else. Take care, guys. Bye bye now.